for Lyons.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And look, I note the comments from the member for Jelly-Brown and acknowledge I also I particularly hold strong views around the incapacity to drive underground, the sometimes terrible things that people think, sometimes the terrible things that people say. The minute that you try and regulate in this space, you tend to drive bad thoughts, bad people, bad comments underground, and fundamentally I do believe that. But I think in this instance, when we're dealing with our most precious asset, when we're dealing with the future, when we're dealing with our children, I regrettably say that I don't think we've got a choice, and that we must, all of us, do everything we can to protect our children in any way we can. And the government has delivered on a commitment that we went to the election with, that we have engaged and we have consulted very broadly on this issue through public consultations. More than 80 submissions were received from a range of sectors from January 2014. So it has been a comprehensive process, and as it should be, because perhaps there is nothing more important than our children, as I said before. Be they community organisations, whether it was industry, education bodies, which naturally enough is particularly interested in these issues. Of course, government and legal representation, academics, and members of the public. So the government has engaged properly with the community, have consulted widely in the formation of this genuine attempt to make online bullying safer for children. Now, I do notice now that there are some young people in the gallery here today, and I just would remind you that this is about you. This is about keeping you and your friends safe online. So this is an important bill before the House today. It contains a number of measures to enhance the online safety for children, and it was an election commitment by the government. It includes establishing the Office of the Children's E-Safety Commissioner and setting out the Commissioner's functions and powers. A mechanism to create an effective complaint system for harmful cyberbullying material targeted at Australian children. With the Commission given two sets of powers it can use in responding to a complaint. These powers would include the power to issue a notice to a large social media service requiring it to remove the particular material, the power to use a notice to the person who posted the material, requiring the person to remove the material, refrain from posting the material, or apologise indeed for posting the material. The measures in this bill are planned to bring a better and more rapid response to the dangers of cyberbullying and to keep Australian and indeed Tasmanian children safer online. I have two boys. I have a nearly 16-year-old and a nearly 13-year-old, and I look back through my eldest son, and I think during that period there, around year 6, I think it was, where the use of deodorant could kill a small farm animal, no question, at 100 yards. That was one phase. More recently, it's been all about the hair, Deputy Speaker. And the hair seems to take on a life indeed of its own, and very much, I guess, the point I would make is that body image and the way that we appear, and I guess that's no different to us. So I guess it's no different to any of us. We all want to be respected. We all want to be loved. We all want to be liked. And but the phenomenon that truly is social media has taken this to another level. And you talk about multitasking. My wife often talks about my incapacity to to multitask, and I don't suppose that's I'm unique in that instance. But I look at my boys, and whether it's the television, whether it's the iPad, whether it's the phone that they've got, the little bit of conversation that we can throw in there as well. There is, these young people truly are multitasking in this space. I don't think we can kid ourselves that we can eradicate bullying. I don't think at all we can kid ourselves that we can eradicate bullying, but damn me if we shouldn't be doing everything we could, everything we can, everything within our power to make our young people safe. We want to see resilient, we want to see strong, we want to see confident young people that can understand that somebody behaving in a certain way is indeed a comment, a reflection more on them than it is on the people that they are trying to bully. But social media is real. We all use it, and I know for young people, particularly my 15-year-old, indeed, life is influenced by the number of likes you get for a post, and that is an important thing. And look, I understand that. Whether it's a photograph of his six packs, Deputy Speaker, and it's been a while. I know, Deputy Speaker, but this is indeed important. And I guess in the context of this discussion also, we should never forget. Whilst the subject of the debate today and the conversation that we're having, and we appreciate the other side, the opposition support of this legislation, we should never forget that bullying has been around since I suspect Adam was a boy, and that we shouldn't ignore all the other types of bullying that go on. Not only, Deputy Speaker, with young people, but in workplaces, and sometimes indeed home situations, and often closer than we might dare to imagine. The internet and indeed social media offer a forum for human interaction, which brings enormous great social benefits. But sometimes things go wrong online as they do offline. When this happens, the internet and social media in particular can make bullying behaviours more dangerous to the children who become the victims. The posting of humiliating or harmful photos, videos or rumours is often exasperated by other social media features such as comments, shares or likes, which can rapidly promote and spread what is indeed damaging content for the individual involved. It can have serious effects, including, of course, anxiety, depression, behavioural problems, and even suicidal thoughts. And I note the presence of the Minister for Health in the chamber at the moment, and nothing is more important than mental health. It is a particular interest of mine, and the precursors, of course, we all have those physical precursors that we can do nothing to control, but some of the triggers that may well that exacerbate some of those precursors could be the sort of things that we're talking about here today. Again, I come back to the point that my wife and I, we try to bring our boys up as confident, not overconfident, but confident, capable young people that have respect for others, that understand that their actions, whilst they might seem to be trivial or harmless, could be having a terrible impact on their friends and colleagues. Research shows that 1 in 5 Australian children have been, or is, indeed a victim of cyberbullying. The University of New South Wales Social Policy Research Centre found last year that the best estimate of cyberbullying over a 12-month period was that 20% of Australian children between the ages of 8 and 17 have experienced some kind of online cyberbullying. And think about those figures. That's one in 5 young people between the age of 8 and 17 experience some form of online bullying. Most common in the age between 10 and 15-year-old, which I guess makes sense. We're in a vulnerable period of our lives, and does tend to diminish in that 16 to 17-year age bracket. These figures mean that the estimated number of children and young people who have been victims in 2013 was nearly 463,000 young Australians, with 350,000 of them aged between 10 and 15 years old. And indeed, look, children can be cruel. That's no news to anybody. That's no news to anybody. Human beings, for that matter, can be cruel. I was speaking not just a few moments ago to the principal of the Cressy District High School in my electorate of Lyons in northern Tasmania, and the principal, Victoria Harrison, just to get her perspective on this discussion, and very much it's they incorporate this area into their health education, part of their curriculum. They have within each year group clear expectations about the way that devices, for example, are used. There is a code of conduct in terms of the use of electronic devices, and they include penalties for any sort of behaviour that is considered inappropriate, and in terms of Facebook and other social media sites like that, anything that would bring the school into disrepute. I guess if I was going to give one message, though, to the young people that are just leaving the gallery upstairs, is that you can always turn off your device. You can always turn off your device, and nobody will ever know. You can block somebody that is impacting on you in a negative way. But most of all, there are adults. There are adults everywhere, whether they be in your school, whether they are in your family, one would hope, but there are, whether they are in the police forces. There are good people that we would strongly encourage. We would strongly encourage young people that are exposed to this sort of behaviour that they contact responsible adults indeed. The bill being debated today contains a number of enforcement provisions so that if a person fails to comply with the requirement under an end user notice, the Children's E-Safety Commissioner will be able to firstly issue a formal warning. If the provider of social media fails to comply with a social media service notice, they will be liable to pay a penalty of 100 penalty units, or in this case those units being roughly $17,000 for each day in which the service provider fails to respond. So not insignificant penalties there. The Commissioner will be able to go to court to obtain an injunction to ensure compliance. The Children's E-Safety Commissioner will be established as an independent authority within the Australian Communications and Media Authority, and will take a national leadership role in online safety for children. In the short time that I've got left, I just come back to, and again I note the comments for the member for Gellibrand in respect of red tape. This government has delivered on reducing red tape in small business particularly, but right across our economy. Over $2 billion worth of savings in red tape that makes it easier for business to get on with business. But in this instance, regulation is required. Our children are our most important asset, and we should do everything within our power It may not be perfect, it may not be a perfect solution, but it is a first step, and we should do everything in our power to make them safe. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.